Todd, what's not?
We'll tell you what, Todd, and that is recording home videos.
But what's not is recording home videos that look something like this. Erratic shots, a little out of focus. It can ruin your party. So, what to do? How about listening to an expert?
And to help you out, we've brought in one of our own experts, and that's Channel 12 photographer Scott Del Sol. And Scott, you use professional gear, which we might point out is here and weighs a ton, but you picked up the home video camera, something somebody would have, to give us some tips.
Well, I did, and this is what I use out in the field, but whatever kind of equipment you use, the techniques are the same.
Okay.
And there are basically three techniques. I like to call it point and shoot, which is basically if you set up a scene, you take the shot you want and you don't do a lot of quick movements, because the first time you do that, if you look at the tape, you're going to get a headache and you're going to know it. The second one is basically to have a variety of shots, and to not have the shots too long, because it gets, even any interesting action gets boring after a while. And finally, the thing is to keep your subject intimate. Everybody likes to get close-up shots, a lot of emotion, and that's what really sells the video professionally and amateur.
A lot of people like to use the zoom. What are your recommendations about that?
Well, it's anything like a new toy. I mean, you like to use it when you first have it. But again, if you look at the tape afterward, if you start seeing a bunch of shots that go in and out and in and out, your eyes are going to get kind of...
You know, everybody's sitting around looking at your video, oh, police.
And they're saying, okay, when's dinner, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Now, what about people that seem to just shoot one scene on and on and on until you hit the fast forward, let's go to something else? I mean...
Well, I have to admit, I've done that too when I first got a home video camera, because you want to see everything, you know.
Yeah.
But unless the video is really compelling, unless, you know, your mom has decided to take up singing and dancing and she's pretty good, I mean, it's pretty boring after a while when you have a long shot. You want to try to keep your shots, I'd say, when I shoot out in the field, to about maybe 8 or 10 seconds tops, and then try to look for something different. And that may just imply, you know, zooming into the subject and then rolling again, so you have two different shots.
It's
called sequencing, is what we call it.
I noticed something that news photographers don't do, and that's talk while they're shooting.
That's very important that you don't, because obviously we're taking sound every time we shoot. So
now, this camera's hooked up, I understand, so we will be able to show everyone at home what you are shooting now. See, there you go. There's the studio. There's the studio camera. So that's Tony.
But
he's just the kind of guy you don't have at your party.
But I'll tell you though, this is what you want to do. You want to keep. You basically want to have the movement within the frame. You don't want to have the camera move. You want to have the subject move, because the subject's, after all, what you're interested in.
And another thing to point out quickly. See all the lights where Tony is... Tony, wave your arm, hand, something. Okay. All those lights there, he's kind of dark, and that's the same thing about shooting into the sunlight, shooting into light like that.
It is. If you shoot into the light, you don't want the light on the camera. You want the light on the subject.
Right.
So you want to avoid things at your Christmas, like shooting into windows or into bright lights or something. And also, a lot of cameras come with lights of their own, which you use to fill in the subject, and you can use that as well.
Okay. Thank you, Scott.
Hey,
Thanks for the demonstration. Merry Christmas.
Have a nice Christmas.
You too. Now, if you're more interested in the big screen movies this holiday weekend, Jean-Claude Van Damme has a new thriller.